The new U.S. News & World Report college rankings have been released, and the University of Miami is on the rise. We'll tell you where the university sits on that list and what this means for students. Plus, Weather Watch. Hurricane Sally is still affecting the Florida Panhandle after making landfall in Louisiana yesterday. We'll bring you the latest on the impact of Sally and a look ahead at the weather with our student meteorologist, Dave Downey. And later on, Canes football laid the smackdown on UAB last week in their home opener at Hard Rock Stadium. Our sports anchor Caroline McDonald has the recap and the road ahead in Kentucky. All this and more tonight on tonight's show. NewsVision starts right now.
Hello and welcome to NewsVision. I'm Maya Broadwater.
And I'm Liam Fabray. Thank you for joining us.
The U.S. News & World Report has come out with its 2021 issue of the best colleges. The University of Miami is ranked in the top 50 at number 49. That's 8 spots higher than UM's 2020 ranking. University leaders say they are very pleased with the new ranking, but the chair of the Board of Trustees, Hillary Bass, says the formula used to calculate rankings often leaves out important factors such as diversity numbers and the amount of lower-income students. But whether you agree with the rankings or not, they are an important factor for students deciding which universities to apply to and ultimately where to go.
Since its creation in 1973, the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center at the University of Miami Health Center has been the only academic-based cancer center in South Florida. It serves as a hub for cancer-related research, diagnosis, and treatment at the U Health. Now it has received a new gift that aims to help as many patients as possible. One anonymous donor has gifted $126 million to Sylvester in the name of Dr. Stephen Namer, who is the director of the institution.
We have been on a mission to be one of the premier cancer centers in the United States. And this gift not only allows us to speed up that pursuit, but it also sends a message to the community.
Dr. Namer told us that the anonymous donor is a male whose family has dealt with cancer. This is the single largest donation to the Sylvester Comprehensive Center in its history.
The Miami Hurricane student newspaper published an article last week that has left some UM students nervous about their living arrangements. Our reporter Jenna Weiss has the story.
Lakeside Village at the University of Miami is the newest housing development on the Coral Gables campus. The complex was opened to students in fall of 2020. However, after a month of residency, students were surprised to find an article written about their new home in the Miami hurricane.
Hearing about the articles, it was a bit alarming, I would say.
The article covers the lawsuit of self-proclaimed whistleblower Ricardo Arnau. Arnau claims he was fired from his position as Chief Mechanical Officer of Coral Gables because of his refusal to pass the inspection of Lakeside's fire protection system. Arnau claims there is not a sufficient amount of fire protection wrap in the ducts connected to the dryer systems at Lakeside. Additionally, he claims that the ducts are bent around the areas where dryers are installed in individual rooms. After the article was released, UM made various statements that students should feel safe living in Lakeside.
The university takes very seriously one of our biggest priorities, which is the safety of our students. And we have complied with all building codes, national and local, and have clearly met all those standards in compliance with the city of Coral Gables, and there are no fire hazards within the Lakeside Village facility.
However, not all students are relieved. Sophomores Alexandra Lieber and Julia Sackett both live in the Lakeside Village. Despite the fact that the school has said they are safe, they still fear that something could happen to them while living on campus.
I feel like Miami's kind of just saying what they have to put people's minds at ease. But I saw 2 articles about the safety of where I'm living. It's probably not safe.
I mean, I'm still a bit nervous because even if things weren't fine, I don't think the school would have emailed us saying that they weren't fine. It was like the whole whistleblowing thing. The school did say that none of that is true. So I feel a little bit better about that, but it's definitely still something to be a bit mindful of.
Lakeside residential students have received a letter from the school regarding the allegations. However, academic students who have classes in Lakeside have not. After my discussion with Vice President Brumley, she noted that those students must have been overlooked and that the school will be communicating with them in the upcoming weeks. For UMTV, I'm Jenna Weiss.
Well, we're all learning to navigate the new normal, but for freshmen, it's navigating 2 new normals. We are joined now by our reporter Claire O'Connor in the studio. Claire, how have the COVID restrictions changed the freshman experience?
Thanks, guys. While some classes are in person, student life has moved completely online, from orientation over Zoom to student organization meetings. On the 7th floor of HEC dorms at the University of Miami, when the 7:30 a.m. alarm goes off, the blaring is like music to Lucy Brambilla. She is like most freshmen right now.
I have one that's fully in person.
Zoom class is the new standard, and attending class from a dorm room is not the only thing that is different this year.
Can kick off live and partly pre-recorded.
Freshman orientation was completely virtual.
This is the first time we did anything on this scale as the virtual.
In person was never an option.
But the numbers of the freshmen that were coming back, we just made it very, very difficult to do.
I would say it was a lot less exciting than last year. Last year it was giant groups of 40 kids together walking around all the campus, and that created like a big buzz. Everyone was excited, And then this year it was everyone more secluded in their dorm rooms.
But orientation is more than meeting friends. For some, it's learning to navigate UM's campus.
They didn't get to really explore campus as much, and I feel like that's one of the worries they had. They were kind of like on their own when it came to touring campus.
Also on their own, making friends in a virtual environment.
You don't really meet friends virtually, I guess.
And especially the RAs on the floor to make sure folks are connecting.
But many freshmen don't think it's enough.
In terms of communication, I just don't really know what's going on.
With outdoor classrooms, mandatory COVID testing every 2 weeks, and enforced curfews, student life has certainly changed.
I think freshmen have to take risks and maybe push themselves a little bit harder than
New students can learn about clubs and organizations over Zoom this week. Until 8 p.m. tonight, religious and multicultural organizations are holding a virtual student fair. The link to join can be found on UM's Engage website. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Claire O'Connor.
Thank you, Claire. I can't imagine how tough it is to be a freshman right now. One more thing freshmen and all of their students will be dealing with is the mandatory flu vaccine. As of yesterday, all students, faculty, and staff will be required to receive the vaccine. It will be available for free on campus by appointment. President Frank says he hopes everyone complies with the new regulation, stating he himself had just been vaccinated.
We do not yet know how these two diseases, the seasonal flu and COVID-19, will interact. Let's use the safe and effective vaccine we do have to protect ourselves and each other against one disease as we continue to devise solutions to the other.
And the deadline for students to get the flu shot is November 16th. Additional information can be found at coronavirus.miami.edu/flu shot.
For the past few weeks, coronavirus cases in Florida have been holding steady. The state is averaging about 3,000 new coronavirus cases per day, with a near 4% positivity rate. In Miami-Dade County, there are now more than 165,000 confirmed cases. And at the University of Miami, there are over 170 active cases, according to the university's dashboard.
The University of Miami has opened a couple of new coronavirus testing locations to meet the requirement that on-campus students be tested every 10 to 14 days. One new testing location is the Pavia Garage for residents of Eaton, Stanford, Hecht, Mahoney-Pearson, and the Lakeside Village. And residents of University Village will be tested at the Albenga Garage. Students who live off campus will be getting at-home test kits in the mail.
To ensure that masks and all the other precautions on campus are met, the university has designated 75 health ambassadors, whose job is to help educate peers on how to slow the spread. UMTV reporter Tyler Walsh sat down with one of them to hear her story and what the UM community can do.
In accordance with the school's plan to slow the spread, the University of Miami has hired 75 students to promote healthy behavior. Andrew Weimer, the director of the Butler Center for Service and Leadership, oversees the program.
For us, it was also a service to our community. So allowing us to really provide a resource of students and student leaders, and allowing our students to be in leadership roles across campus and taking on this responsibility.
Among them, Michaela Quigley. This semester, she decided to step up and be a leader for students.
Sometimes people our age feel so invincible, and in a lot of things we are, but it's a whole ripple effect. It affects more than just beyond us.
Quigley was inspired by her parents, who both work on the front lines, to apply. In addition, her uncle died after his battle with the coronavirus earlier this year.
It's definitely something that hits close to home, so I think it's something that I just wanted to help people really understand the importance.
As public health ambassadors, the student leaders are responsible for enforcing COVID-19 safety guidelines.
Creating an environment of where we are, this is really just an expected thing on the campus to wear our masks and to physically distance, and how can we all work together?
But beyond wearing a mask and social distancing, Quigley encourages students to keep an open dialogue with those in their living arrangement.
Just being honest and open and straightforward with your roommates so that you're all on the same page and really communicating, because I can't imagine how, because what I do affects my roommates and vice versa. So we need to all be on the same page and really open about communication.
Reporting for UMTV, I'm Tyler Walsh.
As UM students were entering their third week of school, Miami-Dade County Public Schools were just starting their semester. The district seemed prepared, but the first week was not what parents expected. The online program called K-12, that was chosen by the district for the return of school could not accommodate the more than 340,000 students and teachers logging in at the same time, and that created a lot of confusion.
We knew something was going to happen in terms of connectivity. Just when you have the amount of people logged in at the same time, something's bound to happen. I think we did the best that we could. Teachers pulled through, admin pulled through. The district had to do what it had to do. Everyone had to get to work. And I think considering the magnitude of the size of the school district that we work in, it's pretty impressive.
The district voted to get rid of the K-12 program and allowed teachers discretion over how they teach their classes. As of now, all public schools in Miami-Dade County are 100% online, but that might change soon.
Monday, both Broward and Miami-Dade County will be moved into phase 2. And of course, the most significant aspect of that is it really clears the pathway for in-person instruction to resume.
And going from political climate to Florida's climate, let's get a first look at the weather with student weathercaster Dave Downey. Dave, how's it looking out there?
Yeah, hey Liam, a beautiful day out there today. Another hot one out there today. But I got good news. A cool down is coming. We're only in the middle of September and a cool down is coming. You can see this kind of squall line of showers and storms entering the Tampa area right now. That is associated with the season's first cold front that's going to drift to the east and southeast over the weekend. And I'll tell you here in a minute, that's going to reach us here in South Florida by Monday. HD radar across South Florida right now. Just a tiny little shower there across I-75 right now. But everybody stayed dry today. Plenty of sun out there today. Beautiful, but again, hot day out there today. Now in the tropics, look at this. Brand new at 7 o'clock at the top of the hour. Tropical Depression 22 has formed over the western Gulf of Mexico. That will become Tropical Storm Wilfred tomorrow, according to the National Hurricane Center. That means the next storm that could form, which would be this one, is going to enter the Greek alphabet and will be called Tropical Storm Alpha. I'll have more on this coming up, again, including that cold front and a cool down coming up.
Athletes are united tonight here at the Watsco Center in support of voter registration. We are live at the Canes voting rally. Don't go anywhere because we're coming back to you right after this break.
Thanks for staying with us. Are you looking to vote but don't know how? Don't worry, UM Athletics has got you covered. Student athletes are leading a voting rally right now in front of the Watsco Center, and NewsVision reporter Blake Atwell is live with the details. Blake, how's it going out there?
Spirits are high here tonight outside the Watsco Center for the Canes voting rally, which got cracking just a few moments ago. Now, this rally was organized by UM student athletes, but it is open and completely free for all UM students to attend. Please wear a mask if you come. Those happen to be required, of course, and the event runs until 9 p.m. Now, some student athletes at UM think that what happens here tonight at this rally could be a catalyst for creating some real social change on campus.
I'm all for that, but what I'm not all for is it just being a one-time thing. That's what I'm not for. Cause like if stuff happened one time, what type of progress has that made? Like in the real world, that just wasted whoever time that just stood out there and marched. If it just happens one time.
Brooks and the rest of the men's basketball team actually just started a march from right here at the Watsco Center to the lakeside patio. Now, this march is in support of voter registration. And in the meantime, while those guys are marching here at the Watsco Center, other student athletes are going to hold the fort down by passing out some voter information to rally attendees. Reporting from the Watsco Center for UMTV, I'm Blake Atwell.
Thank you, Blake. The social justice movement is inspiring sports people to speak up. While the Miami Heat played Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics on Tuesday, the city of Louisville paid $12 million to the family of Breonna Taylor. Heat coach Eric Spoelstra discussed the settlement with reporters.
$12 million is not going to bring back Breonna Taylor into this world. You can throw any kind of truckload of money. I think what everybody wants to see is justice, and those police officers held accountable.
Breonna Taylor was killed by police in her apartment in March during a drug raid that did not find any illegal substances. Well, I'm glad that they finally did something in the case of Breonna Taylor.
Me too. And turning to our attention to weather now. Let's check in with our student weathercaster, Dave Downey. Dave, is it rain or shine this weekend?
Hey, Maya, the first half of the weekend looks really good. Plenty of sunshine out there for the day Saturday. That story will probably change Sunday as we're going to see our first cold front of the season work its way through Sunday night into Monday. Dry into the week, as we just said, for this week. But then again, the Atlantic is going to go Greek potentially even this weekend or next week. Current conditions out there, it feels hot out there. Mid to upper 80s across the air. It feels like temperature in the mid 90s. Winds out of the south-southwest around 8 miles per hour. Again, driving more of that hot, sticky air into the air right now. Just an uncomfortable, muggy afternoon out there. Again, pretty standard cut and dry for the South Florida these times of nights. Mid-80s across the board right now in Marathon. You're the cool spot right now, checking in at 84 degrees, 87 scattered the board for Fort Lauderdale as well as Miami. And again, these temperatures will be dropping next week, albeit just a little bit. But again, we'll take any relief we can get in the middle of September. Here is that cold front. We can see it pretty illustrated very well by the radar. Showers and storms located just off to the west of Tampa right now. Again, that will push to the southeast across the weekend. We're staying dry here in Miami, though, for the next couple of days. Remnants of Sally, look at this. Remember all those showers and storms we saw last week and across Miami? Well, that was associated with Sally. It trekked all the way across the northeastern Gulf of Mexico, made landfall near the Florida Panhandle. Lots of damage out there. Let's take a look at a couple of those pictures right now, actually. Lots of damage from this one as well as we saw. Again, there's some of that damage right now. It made landfall on the Gulf Coast as a Category 2 storm with winds of 110 miles per hour. The slow-moving cyclone dumped several feet of rain to parts of Alabama and Florida, causing flooding. Many locations are now underwater because of the heavy rain and storm surge. Winds gusted over 100 miles per hour near the coast, knocking down trees and leaving over 500,000 people without power. And now, even though the storm has left, it's still causing issues.
Yes, even though we are done with this event with the wind and the rain, we still have the flooding of the rivers.
Just follow the instructions of all of your local and federal people there.
Cleanup phase now begins for thousands of residents that have been displaced and impacted by Sally. Of course, there are still months left in the hurricane season. We're already to the Greek alphabet almost, so the U.S. is not out of the woods for additional storm threats. Now, the U.S. has actually set the record this year, the 2020 hurricane season, for the most landfalling hurricanes, actually any cyclone on record. That dates back all the way to 1918. The strongest storm over the Atlantic Basin right now is Hurricane Teddy, currently a Category 4 storm, very well-defined eye right now. That'll push off towards the northwest and then move towards the north over the weekend. Futurecast, beautiful night tonight. A couple showers out there across the area. Dry out overnight tonight. A nice start to tomorrow morning as well. Look at that, 9 a.m. Plenty of sunshine out there as well. 6:30 again, maybe a couple showers out there, kind of like what we saw today. I think most areas are still going to stay dry with the southwesterly flow. If that flow was more out of the east or the sea breeze, we probably see some more shower coverage out there. Clear out Friday night into Saturday. A beautiful day here on Saturday, as we mentioned earlier. A couple showers out there as well on Saturday, but again, most areas are going to stay dry. Tonight's forecast, upper 70s, a few clouds, still a muggy night tonight, just a couple clouds out there, but again, it's going to be hot and humid. Tomorrow, 91, another hot one yet again. Most will stay dry with a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow. So again, here is that cold front. It's going to push towards the south over the weekend. Here it is Monday afternoon into Monday night. You can see that kind of yellow-blue contour there is the borderline between hot and humid air and the drier air. That's going to push just enough to the south there, basically just north of Cuba right now. And we're going to see those cooler temperatures next week. Here is that 7-day forecast now. 91's the next couple days, but then look at that. A few showers on Monday and Tuesday, but then we're getting hot already by next weekend. Maya?
Thank you, Dave. We will take a short break now, but when we return, sports reporter Caroline McDonald will recap the Hurricanes' victory against UAB and what to expect in their upcoming match against Louisville this Saturday. Plus, UM Volleyball is facing pressure on and off the court. We will tell you how they're serving their best game and staying safe from COVID-19 after a short break. Don't go anywhere.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
Hi everyone, I'm Caroline McDonald with sports. What a week for Canes football. Starting off with a big win last Thursday night against UAB. Derek King and Cam Harris were quite the duo. Check this out. Harris takes the handoff on 4th and 1 all the way down the field for the Hurricanes' first score of the night. That ties this one up at 7 apiece. Ground game strong in this one. King with the ball, scrambling to find something. But he takes it all the way himself and dives into the end zone, putting the Canes ahead for the first time that game, 14-7. That's when the Canes took charge on both ends. Here in the second Q, look at Quincy Roche making the big tackle. The transfer has turned into an essential leader on defense for this squad. Canes blazed UAB, locking in their first win of the season, 31-14. Looking ahead, College Game Day is going to Kentucky to see the Canes match up against the Louisville Cardinals. This Saturday, both top 25 teams will go head-to-head. Although the Hurricanes are off to a good start, Derek King knows there's still a lot to improve on, and he will need to bring his explosive running game to the Cardinal Stadium.
We have to improve in the passing game a lot. We got to start making plays. Me giving the receivers a chance downfield to make plays. And just being calm in the pocket.
I think they're a different team than they were a year ago. I think we're a different team than we were a year ago. And I would imagine we both argue that we're better versions of ourselves than we were that day back in 2019.
The Hurricanes volleyball team has been working hard to prepare for this season, one they were never certain they would have. Miami has had over 1 month of matches canceled because of COVID-19, but hopes are high for a modified season of competition starting next week. Like all ACC schools, players and coaches are now tested multiple times a week, and since the start of school, volleyball has had 0 positive results. Precautions like face masks and the constant cleaning of equipment are just some of the protocols taken in order to compete safely. After given the privilege to play, Coach Casey Kreider is feeling the pressure to perform well and protect others.
Any year, match one, there's nerves. You're excited, you're stressed, there's some doubt. Where do we stand? And then this year, it's, hey, all of that plus, can we live up to this expectation that's been placed on us to do this the right way, which is as safely and healthily as possible.
Safety for some players means opting out and staying home, like sophomore outside hitter Kennedy Prince. Despite her absence, the Canes will play their first match of the season at home on September 24th against Georgia Tech and hope for 3 more safe and successful weekends of games following. And Canes soccer is back at Cobb Stadium tonight for their ACC opener against the Louisville Cardinals. I'm Carol McDonald, sending it back to you guys at the desk. Still to come on NewsVision, we will show you how one student's clothing line is creating a community to help fight mental illness.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it! I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Good to see you again. Mental health is a growing problem in our world today. According to the CDC, suicide rates have been on the rise since 2007.
And that's certainly a very alarming trend. But now one University of Miami student is working to make a positive change through his clothing line. Our reporter Sophia Vitello has the story.
UM senior Brendan Earhart has one main goal in life: to fight mental illness.
So mental health has definitely had a major impact on my life and the life of my family. Unfortunately, my grandpa took his own life from lack of mental health, and that led to my father really not having a foundation for himself. I've never really been able to have a relationship with him because of that lack of foundation he built.
To achieve his goal, Earhart teamed up with his childhood best friend, Robert Rydstrom, and founded Limitless, which is a holistic health and athletic apparel company for mental and physical fitness. He says he believes having a support team is the only way to successfully conquer mental illness.
We, at Limitless are really striving to get to the core of embracing our deepest vulnerabilities, our deepest scarring, to be able to realize that no matter what we go through, we're truly going to grow through.
Most mornings, Brendan and his 2 best friends read the Bible and reflect on their own mental health.
When I saw my neighbor playing with his dad, I would be like, wow, I wish I had a dad I could play with. Having that broken childhood and having those divorced parents, that really pushed me at a young age to grow and kind of break out of my comfort zone.
Through the company's Instagram, Limitless has created a community for people to connect with others and stay motivated by encouraging followers to join athletic challenges, accomplish their goals, and live limitlessly. Earhart hopes his company can help anyone feel like they have a family.
Taking mental health seriously is probably the most important thing you could do for yourself, because it's the only place you're in 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And I think what Limitless does a great job of is bringing a group of people together who are not scared to go there, who are not scared to open up the conversation.
A portion of the company's proceeds are donated to the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. Today, Limitless has donated $900 and plans on hosting a virtual event for people to connect with psychologists, fitness trainers, and more. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Sophia Vitello.
Cause I think I'm gonna get myself a t-shirt and I'm gonna get you a t-shirt.
Oh, that is so sweet. It would be a gift for me and a gift for a great cause.
Yeah, great cause, double whammy, right?
Exactly.
There you go.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for joining us.
We'll be back next week for another live edition of NewsVision. Until then, have a good night, everyone.